varied from pandemic one, which we had when we had Ebola, to some level of man-made issues that have resulted from what we have in the Middle Belt, where we have the Fulani and the landowner displacement in terms of grazing, from, of course, the war that we had in Boko Haram. And you can trace down to mudsliding in the southeast, where they have major issue of erosion, and of course at the south, where we have issue of oil spills and in all those areas. There are a number of companies engaged, and these companies before are members of the NESG who have been working at various thematic groups. When we had the flooding challenge, I mean, they all contributed money which they gave to government to ensure that we can relieve the pains of the people that were affected. But what is critical is that how do we do this in a network? How do you do it on a continuous basis? How do we ensure that we bring some level of disclosure, transparency to the things we do? Well, the business case for the people to be engaged is very clear, because every business tries to meet a need, and you meet, your needs are to meet the needs of people. These people live in communities. These people have families. So when these people are displaced, either by war or by hunger or by flood, you've cut short the people who are demanding for your product. These people, again, are your workers. They are people who you need to produce whatever it is. If they are displaced, they won't work very well. Our concern at the NESG before had been wholly focused on things that are like economic related. But when we saw the Boko Haram, it became very clear that unless you have a peaceful environment, unless you have an environment that is devoid of war and afflictions, your businesses can't thrive. So we got involved. We, working with UN Orchard, try to make sure we move a lot of our members to go to a northeast sector where the Boko Haram people were. We visited some people at the IDP, and then we got some of our members to reach out to them individually and to meet their needs. What we look at doing really is that when we set up the network, we need to do not only the matter of remedy and recovery. We need to plan effectively for things like this. We need to ensure that we work together holistically, because a good thing that we'll do is if we do real stakeholder mapping, we'll know where the needs are and where the opportunities are. And our businesses will not only be giving it by way of charity, they will then see where the business opportunity is there for them. For us at the NESG, we've always worked with the public sector. So it's really a public-private sector dialogue and work, which we believe will help government and will help our private members too. We haven't done as much as we will do because we didn't have a specific network focus at that. But if you look at the history of Nigerian Economic Summit Group, it was founded about 24 years ago. And so we collaborate with government in different strata of area. Our membership is private sector, and we have civil society. But we work through policy commissions, and this policy commission have on the steering committee members of the public sector, members of the private sector. So we sit together to look at what is it we need to do, and we plan and we work together and we operationalize it. Our intention is that once we start this network, which will have its own thematic group of its own, we'll get relevant people, but from the government, from the business sector, and for the civil society to sit together. So we then can begin to discuss beyond when there is problem. How do we plan for them? How do we prevent them? How do we manage them? How do we recover people? And once those information is there, we can strengthen it. But in terms of NESG, we've had about 24 years of work with government, not only at the federal level, even at the state level. And again, we work at different organs of the government. Just as we deal with the executive, we have a collaboration with the National Assembly, which makes it easy for any law, any reforms that must be taken. The CBI can add tremendous value to this network and to the work that we're putting together. First and foremost, because we've been discussing with CBI, we're going to have a thematic group that is focused directly on humanitarian needs and responses. The CBI will be coming with a rich experience and resources, having worked across many nations of the world, and so we can share with their experiences. We believe they will give us some technical support. We believe they will give us some linkages to relevant bodies. I will believe that where there is a need for financial support to drive it, we will have it together. But it's to give us more credibility to enable us to collaborate with other nations and share their experiences. That's what we believe the CBI will bring to the table.